Hi ladies, how are you tonight? This is Valerie, and tonight we are going to have so much fun because Halloween's coming up, and so I had to come up with a fantastic hairdo to celebrate all things Halloween. So as you see, what we're going to do, what we're going to do here is we are going to make a spider web, and then at the bottom of the spider web, there's nothing quite so great as having a fantastic big giant spider on the back of your daughter's head. So stay with me, we're going to have a ton of fun. We'll talk to you in a second. Alright ladies, so what we're going to start with is I've divided Rachel's hair into 4 sections with small clear rubber bands. So as you see, it's just 4 equal sections across the top of the head. Okay? Now this part is going to serve as the base of my spider web. So also what I've done is I've just taken I've gone double thick on 4 pieces of, this is just regular old yarn that you find at the craft store. And I went ahead and woven them into the rubber bands here at the top. Okay, so what we're going to start now doing is we're going to start by making the spider web. Now the important part here is that when you're doing this, do not make these rubber bands too tight. As I have practiced this I did it too tight and it became a problem. So, because we're going to be weaving other pieces of yarn through, so we're talking, you don't want it loose, you don't want it to fall out, but I would say, like, depending on the size of your rubber band, make it like that so that it's tight enough to stay in, but that you definitely can pull it and kind of maneuver it later on in the hairdo. Okay, so now I'm going double thick just because I really want the orange to show up. I used orange. I've done black before. I liked orange better. Especially you don't want to use black if you have darker hair. So I'm just going across the top. Now you're going to see that it doesn't really matter what direction I go, but I'm gonna just do this second layer here. I'm gonna go 3 times through, 3 times around. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this all the way across to each of the 4 pieces of hair. Yeah, see, that's going to be too loose to do 2. I tried it though, just because you don't want to go too tight. Okay? Alright, we're going to go over here and do more rubber bands. Okay. So as you see, we've just got, now we're just 2 thick, 2 rubber bands on each of the 4 sections of hair, okay? I'm going to go ahead and do that again. So what I'm going to end up doing is it's going to be 4 rubber bands, and then they're going to connect down here to the bottom. So that's going to make kind of the first component of the spider web. Okay, so I've got 4 sections that have been combined, and then now I'm going to combine them down here. Now I'm not super worried if they're not really tight because we're going to just play with this and make it look fun. So I'm going to go ahead and combine these here. Don't worry about the long stringy pieces of yarn here. That's not a problem. Alright. Okay, it's looking good. Now, what I've done is I've already pre-cut 4 more. I've already cut 4 more pieces of yarn here that I'm going to start using to do the cross sections of the spider web. Now it's going to kind of look drapey eventually, but I find that it works best when you don't drape it at first. So what you're going to do is you're just going to grab this top piece of yarn here. Now my top pieces had to be just a little bit tight because if they weren't, it was not going to hold the web in. So you're just going to want to kind of do a little bit of maneuvering, grab that top piece and thread it in, okay? Not that big of a deal, okay? Same goes for here. You can use the existing piece of yarn that's already in there. Now don't pull too hard because you don't want to be, messing up things. like I'm attempting to not do. Okay, see, and I just pulled it in, and then you can just readjust it, straighten it back out, like so. All right, and then we're gonna go in here, do the same thing. Now that one I did a little better job of, that was quite loose. Okay, all right, and then turn around here, sweetie. And then we're gonna go, same, use, like I said, use the actual already threaded in thread to kind of give you a little bit of give for the yarn that you're weaving through, okay? No worries about this extras, because obviously we can just cut that off. Now we'll loosen that in a minute, but don't worry about that now, okay? Now we're gonna just do the same thing here. See what our cute little spider web looks like? Okay. All right, now at this point there's a couple of things you can do. I'm going to go ahead and just push these down and kind of combine them down here at the end. That kind of actually gives you another thickness of the spider web here. And this is actually, it's kind of actually cute just as it is. If you wanted to leave it, you could just do that. But before we do that, I'm going to just go ahead and play with these sections here. Because you know how spider webs, you go out in your front yard and you like look out in the morning or you're mowing your lawn or whatever, and they're kind of draping everywhere. So they don't look like that straight. They're always kind of down like this. So because we were so smart and we gave ourselves all sorts of extra give, we have the ability to sort of drape these little guys. See that? Just kind of push it loose, and isn't that, see, that just has this fun, spooky Halloween look. Okay. All right, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and tie this off at the bottom. And as if you didn't think this was fun, it's just actually going to get, it's even actually going to get more fun now. So hang with me, because now, what good is a spider web if you don't have a fantastic spider to go with it? All right. All right. So stay tuned. Okay. What I've got here. Okay. What I've got here is I went to the craft store and I bought a few supplies. Now this is like, for every hairdo, you obviously do not have to go all out, but for Halloween and for holidays, it's kind of fun. So I couldn't resist. All right, Miss Rachel, help me out. Hold these, please. Okay, now these are going to be our spider legs. Another good reason, oh wait, no. Yes, they are, I'm thinking of a different do. Okay, so these are going to be our spider legs, but I'm going to actually get longer ones, so just hold tight. All right, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to take these pipe cleaners. These are brand new pipe cleaners. If you find old ones, that's perfectly fine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, you could do a couple things. Beforehand, when I've practiced this, I've actually wound them, but I think this time I'm going to try something different. I'm going to take my finger and take it through the ponytail. Did you see how I do that? And I'm going to use that as kind of a canal to pull the pipe cleaners through, okay? And that gives you a little bit more leg, because if you go around the thickness of the ponytail, you actually lose a little bit of your length. You don't want to do that, because it's fun to have these little legs sticking out. And actually, the more I think about it, you could actually do a couple at a time. You don't need to put your daughter through the misery of you sticking your finger in that tight little spot several times. You can just do it once or twice. So here we go. Here's another. And this one is a pipe cleaner I've used before, so it's lost a little bit of its It's a little bit more wiggly, so it's giving me a little bit of trouble. Okay, so, you okay? Okay. All right, so here are some legs. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're just going to wind this up. Now, if you have real long hair that is all the same length, this is probably quite a bit easier than what I'm dealing with, because I made the huge mistake of letting my daughter get layers in her hair. But what I've done here is I've just wrapped it and I've rubber banded here at the bottom. This is just going to help me get a nice cleaner bun, because I am dealing with a multitude of layers, which always makes me crazy. So we're just going to kind of wrap it, and I'm going to just get that, I just want to get it in a ball. That's all I care about. It's not going to look good, but it's going to be covered up. So it's okay. So I get it in a ball. Okay, that's sufficient. Okay, it's tight. It's not going to fall out. It's not pretty, but like I said, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so that's going to be the base of our big ugly spider. Okay. All right. So what I've done here is I went to the craft store, and I went ahead and just went to the doll making section, and I found these fantastic little googly eyes that all you need to do is they have a back here that you just pop in. Now, wherever you live, if you can't find these, there's another option. You can just get your normal googly eyes and you can just hot glue them to either a piece of felt or a barrette or whatever. There's a lot of things you can do. Now for ours, I just went ahead and did this, and I really liked it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of felt that I've already kind of installed the eyeballs, and I'm just going to put this sheath of felt over the bun. Okay? No big deal. And I'm just going to wrap it. That's why, you always want to use, in this case, if you have a black rubber band, that'll work just fine. But generally, I'm always a fan of the clear, because it hides things and you don't have to worry about colors and stuff. Okay. So now we have our spider at the bottom of the spider web, and I realize that we're supposed to have 8 feet, but this one's going to have 6 tonight, so that's just how it's going to be. Now at this point, if you want to have the spider walking up your daughter's spider web head, then you can do that, okay? Or if you want to have them sticking out, whatever, to just kind of make it look creepy. Okay, check this hairdo out. It is so incredibly cute. Please give it a try. It's perfect for your Halloween night party. It's perfect for that school party that you're going to be going to around Halloween Day. And also, don't forget, I have other fantastic hairdos. A lot of them are some of them are Halloween themed, and they are on my YouTube channel that is called Pretty Hairdos on YouTube by Valerie. So check them out and come back and visit me next week here on this website. Take care. Bye.